Long before the world knew of oil, Yemen was a land of immense wealth and legendary tales. The Romans called it Arabia Felix or Happy Arabia, a name whispered with a mix of awe and desire. This was a place of overflowing prosperity, built not on gold but on something far more fragrant, frankincense and myrrh. These precious resins, harvested from the gnarled trees of southern Arabia, were the lifeblood of ancient trade. They were burned in the temples of pharaohs, emperors, and kings across the known world, their sweet smoke carrying prayers to the heavens. Yemen, sitting at the crossroads of Africa, Asia, and the Mediterranean, held the key to this lucrative commerce, its ports bustling with ships and its deserts alive with camel caravans. At the heart of this ancient prosperity was the legendary kingdom of Sheba. Its stories are woven into the fabric of history and scripture, most famously through its enigmatic ruler, the Queen of Sheba. The tale of her journey to visit King Solomon in Jerusalem bearing gifts of spices, gold, and precious stones speaks volumes about the kingdom's influence and sophistication. Sheba was not merely a land of traders, it was a center of great engineering and architectural prowess. The people of Sheba understood the preciousness of water in their arid land and became masters of harnessing it, a skill that allowed their civilization to flourish for centuries. The most breathtaking example of this ingenuity was the Great Dam of Marib. This colossal structure, an engineering marvel of the ancient world, was built around the 8th century BCE. It was not a simple wall, but a complex system of sluices and canals that captured the seasonal floodwaters, transforming the surrounding desert into a verdant oasis of fields and gardens. For over 1,000 years, the dam sustained a thriving agricultural society, enabling the growth of cities and the feeding of a large population. The dam was more than just stone and earth. It was the very symbol of Yemeni civilization, a testament to their ability to create life and order in a harsh environment. This ancient world of Yemen was a place of profound connection, linking distant cultures through the exchange of goods and ideas. Its people were skilled sailors, navigating the treacherous waters of the Indian Ocean, and hardy caravaneers, guiding their trains across vast, unforgiving deserts. They built towering mud-brick cities that scraped the sky, a unique architectural style that continues to define the Yemeni landscape today. The legacy of Arabia Felix is not just found in crumbling ruins or historical texts, it lives on in the spirit of a people who have long understood how to build, trade, and thrive at the very nexus of the world. The arrival of Islam in the 7th century marked a profound turning point in the long and storied history of Yemen. The new faith did not arrive with the sword as it did in some lands, but was embraced willingly. A delegation from Yemen traveled to meet the Prophet Muhammad in Medina, and the people converted peacefully, integrating their land into the burgeoning Islamic world. This transition was seamless, a testament to the Yemeni people's adaptability and their deep-seated spiritual consciousness. Yemen quickly became a vital province of the early Islamic caliphates, its people contributing as scholars, soldiers, and administrators, their influence spreading far beyond their mountainous homeland. Following this initial period, Yemen's history was shaped by a succession of powerful local dynasties that asserted their own unique authority. Among the most enduring and significant were the Zaydi Imams, who established their rule in the northern highlands in the 9th century. Their state, a form of theocracy rooted in a branch of Shia Islam, would last in some form for over 1,000 years, making it one of the longest ruling dynasties in the world. The Zaydi Imams created a distinct cultural and political identity for the northern regions, one centered on resilience, independence, and a deep connection between faith and governance that continues to influence the region today. Further south, the sun shone brightly on the Razalid dynasty, which ruled from the 13th to the 15th century. This period is often remembered as a golden age for Yemen. The Razalids were patrons of science, art, and architecture, turning their capital, Taiz, into a vibrant center of learning and culture. Scholars flocked to their courts, producing important works on astronomy, medicine, and agriculture. The Razalids were also astute traders, managing the lucrative Red Sea and Indian Ocean trade routes and filling their coffers with the profits from spices, textiles, and other valuable goods, fostering an era of remarkable prosperity and intellectual achievement. These Islamic dynasties did more than just rule, they nurtured the very soul of Yemen. They built magnificent mosques, schools, and fortresses that still stand as proud monuments to their power and piety. They codified laws, encouraged scholarship, and presided over a society that was both deeply religious and intellectually curious. The legacies of the Zaydi Imams and the Rasulid Sultans are not merely historical footnotes, they are embedded in the cultural DNA of modern Yemen. They represent a long tradition of self-rule and a rich heritage of learning and artistic expression that defines the nation's identity. As the medieval golden ages faded, Yemen's strategic position once again drew the attention of powerful foreign empires. The Ottoman Turks, expanding their vast domain across the Middle East, sought control over the Red Sea trade routes and the holy cities of Mecca and Medina. They first marched into Yemen in the 16th century, seeking to secure the region from their European rivals, the Portuguese. Their rule was centered in the northern highlands, but it was never absolute. The proud and independent tribes of the mountains, led by their Zaydi Imams, fiercely resisted Ottoman authority, engaging in a long and draining cycle of rebellion and reconquest that lasted for centuries. While the Ottomans struggled to maintain their grip on the north, another imperial power set its sights on the south. In 1839, the British Empire, seeking a strategic coaling station for its ships on the vital sea route to India, captured the port of Aden. This act effectively split Yemen in two. Aden was transformed into a bustling crown colony, a fortified outpost of the British Empire that was administered separately from its vast hinterland. The British gradually extended their influence over the surrounding sultanates and sheikdoms, creating the Aden Protectorate through a series of treaties. This formal division carved a deep political and cultural line through the heart of historic Yemen. The two Yemens developed along starkly different paths. In the north, the Ottomans were eventually expelled for good in the early 20th century, giving way to the restoration of the Zaydi Imamate, which ruled an independent but isolated kingdom. This state, known as the Mutawakkilite Kingdom of Yemen, remained deeply traditional and resistant to modern influences. In the south, British-controlled Aden became a cosmopolitan hub of global trade and politics, while the Protectorate remained a patchwork of traditional rulers under British oversight. The experiences of colonialism were profoundly different, creating two distinct political entities where one nation had once stood. This long period of division set the stage for the complexities of the 20th century. The North experienced a revolution in 1962 that overthrew the Imamate and established the Yemen Arab Republic. Meanwhile, a nationalist struggle in the South forced the British to withdraw in 1967, leading to the creation of the People's Democratic Republic of Yemen, the only Marxist state in the Arab world. For decades, these two states, one a conservative republic, the other a socialist one, existed side by side, divided by ideology and the legacies of their different colonial pasts, yet forever linked by a shared history and culture. The fall of the Berlin Wall echoed even in the mountains of Arabia, and in 1990, a wave of optimism swept the region as North and South Yemen finally came together. The Yemen Arab Republic and the People's Democratic Republic of Yemen unified to form the modern Republic of Yemen. It was a moment of immense hope, a promise to heal the fractures of the colonial era and build a single, prosperous nation. For a brief time, it seemed that the dream of a united Yemen, echoing the glory of Arabia Felix, was within reach. The new country embarked on a fragile experiment with democracy, a rare venture in the Arabian Peninsula. However, the foundations of this unity proved to be unstable. Old grievances between the northern and southern political elites combined with economic struggles quickly resurfaced, culminating in a brief but bitter civil war in 1994. Although the union was preserved by force, the underlying tensions never truly disappeared. The new century brought fresh challenges. The 2011 Arab Spring protests saw widespread demands for political change, leading to a transition of power, but failing to resolve the country's deep-seated problems of poverty, corruption, and regional divisions. This volatile environment created a power vacuum that would soon be filled by conflict. The situation deteriorated dramatically with the rise of the Houthi movement in the north, which captured the capital, Sana'a, in 2014. This event triggered a devastating civil war, drawing in regional and international powers and plunging Yemen into one of the world's worst humanitarian crises. The conflict has shattered the country's infrastructure, crippled its economy, and inflicted unimaginable suffering upon its people. The dream of 1990 has turned into a nightmare of fragmentation and war, with the nation once known as Happy Arabia, now defined by hardship and survival against overwhelming odds. Yet, even in the darkest of times, the spirit of Yemen endures. It lives in the resilience of its people, who continue to cultivate their terraces, rebuild their homes, and care for one another with profound solidarity. It breathes in the verses of its poets, the melodies of its music, and the ancient traditions passed down through generations. The architectural wonders of Sana'a and Shibam still stand, a testament to a timeless genius. The strength of the Yemeni people, forged over millennia of building, trading, and surviving, is their greatest resource. It is this unbreakable spirit that holds the hope for a future where peace can finally return to the land of Sheba.